From KQTV St. Joseph, this is KQ2 News at 10.
2 people were taken to Heartland Hospital this evening after a car accident on 59 Highway. Good evening, I'm Melinda Barrett. Both victims were conscious when paramedics arrived. The accident involved 2 trucks and 1 trailer, all of which were towed from the scene. Traffic on 59 Highway was slowed for about an hour while the accident was cleared. Witnesses say that the first truck started to turn off the highway just before the collision.
Apparently, the first vehicle re-entered the right lane. Just changed their mind, whatever circumstances. I haven't had a chance to talk to them yet. And the vehicle behind them struck them.
Missouri State Highway Patrol troopers are still investigating to determine if either drivers are at fault. The St. Joe Mustangs are in the middle of their 5th season at Phil Welch Stadium. As 2-time defending league champions, crowds are growing by the hundreds, and the experience at the ball field is like something you've never done before. The St. Joe Mustangs are drawing huge crowds to Phil Welch Stadium this season. Ticket sales are up by 400 a game this year.
We put a lot of effort into actually getting people to buy tickets in advance. It's called group sales, and it's the lifeblood of every sports franchise.
The Mustangs attract a larger crowd than all the other teams in the Mink League combined.
Our focus is on doing business the right way, attracting people to come to games, and winning. And guess what? It's worked.
Just ask some of the fans like Richard Ottman, a season ticket holder that hasn't missed a game in 3 years.
People are great, and they have their little in-between inning activities. It's fun to watch.
I love baseball, and I love these kids. I would rather see them play than any pro team play.
Jeannie Tudor has been attending baseball games at Phil Welch since the early 90s. But the atmosphere at the stadium is drawing more people than she's ever seen before.
No comparison. I mean, we were lucky if we'd have 300 people at a game back then.
We try to do things for the long term. We try to do things the right way. We try not to think about how can we get as much money out of this as possible. We try to do it so fans have fun.
But it's not just baseball. It's a full-on, family-friendly experience at the ball field.
This year we've done Star Wars night. We gave away money at the gate. Every night we try to do something that what you wouldn't expect to see at a baseball game. That's what we try to do every night. We want people to leave here and be our advertising. Hey, I went to the Mustangs game and it was a blast. That's our goal.
Every night there's something different. You never know. Yeah, you want to have a good time, you come to Phil Welch Stadium and you'll have it.
The next home game is against the Military All-Stars on July 3rd at 7 p.m. Veterans and active military members are free. After the game, there's a special patriotic fireworks spectacular show. A Platte County judge is scheduled to determine the location of a 3rd Northwest Missouri murder trial. Attorneys for Mark Woodworth filed a change of venue earlier this month to Platte County. A hearing on the request is slated for tomorrow. Woodworth was convicted of killing Kathy Robertson in 1990. The conviction was overturned by the Missouri Supreme Court earlier this year. The request comes due to a Livingston County judge being a possible witness in the case. Missouri Western becomes one of a growing list of universities to go tobacco-free tomorrow. An announcement to kick off the new tobacco-free policy will be held tomorrow afternoon on campus. Administrators, faculty, and student representatives will speak at the event. The announcement will come at 1 tomorrow afternoon in the Bloom Student Union lobby. Around 6 Springfield bars have been cited for violations ranging from allowing smoking to not having a no smoking sign and leaving ashtrays out. Tomorrow brings a new era for the St. Joseph School District. Dr. Fred Zaronka will officially take over as superintendent. Thursday marked the last working day for departing superintendent, Dr. Melody Smith. Smith's retirement, along with Janet Pullen's resignation, are 2 of a handful of district administrators stepping down this summer. Smith says she's leaving on good terms. For Pullen, disagreements meant it was time to move on.
I don't leave with any grudges. I leave with peace, I leave with joy, and I leave knowing that it was a privilege to serve as superintendent.
Between the administration and the board was not pleasing to me, and I was not in agreement with some of that process, and I just decided that I needed to move on.
Through all the resignations and retirements, the district mainly promoted and shifted personnel from in-house. Dr. Zerwanka is one of only a few administrators that will be new to the district this coming school year. An ambitious project in Atchison, Kansas could get a little closer this week. Tenants are expected to begin moving storage items into a former underground military storage facility. The caves will be used partially for storage. The larger portion has been sold to the Vivos Group, who plan to convert the space into the world's largest survival resort. Vivos is expected to be in Atchison sometime this week. Be sure to watch KQ2 later this week for updates on the progress. If you plan on making a stop by the library this week, you better check the schedule first. 2 St. Joseph branches are changing their hours of operation starting tomorrow. Both the downtown and East Hills branches will have new hours. East Hills will be open on Sundays from 11 to 3, while the downtown branch will be closed. Weekday schedules at both locations vary. You can go to stjoechannel.com for an exact schedule. The battle over gay marriage in California continues. Coming up, more decisions today from a Supreme Court justice and details of a gay pride celebration on the West Coast. Plus,
I can't think of anything that's more un-American than that.
More from this man taking a stand against a movement towards same-sex marriages. What he had to say coming up next. The U.S. Supreme Court has refused to stop California from issuing same-sex marriage licenses. Justice Anthony Kennedy denied an emergency appeal today by supporters of Proposition 8. Kennedy refused to vacate a stay of a U.S. Court of Appeals decision Friday that allowed same-sex marriages to resume in the state. California moved quickly, lifting the previous injunction against same-sex marriage on Friday. Opponents had argued the lower courts and state leaders acted too quickly without allowing the legal appeals process to fully play out. Gay pride was on display in the streets of San Francisco today. Hundreds of thousands of people turned out for the city's annual Pride Parade. Cheering crowds lined the streets as colorful participants passed. Many used the annual parade to celebrate the return of gay marriage to California. Other cities across the U.S. held pride parades this weekend. Of course, not everyone is on board with gaining support for gay marriages. The president of the Family Research Council says same-sex marriages are opening up Pandora's box. Extreme heat is bearing down on the American Southwest, and people aren't the only ones suffering. The heat wave is affecting the region's power supply. Leanne Suter has more from Southern California, where preparations for power outages are underway. The LA County Department of Health has issued a heat alert through Monday due to the life-threatening conditions, officials urging everyone to play it safe as temperatures soar. A roller coaster game leads to another good off day for the Royals. Plus, the USA Youth Weightlifting Championships have come and gone. Sounds like we are in store for a beautiful 4th of July.
This whole week is going to be picture perfect. I'm really looking forward to it.
All right, thanks, Cherish. Well, if you don't have 4th of July plans, it's time to make them. It's going to be beautiful outside. So thanks for tuning in tonight, and we'll be right back here next weekend.